It has been a week of impossibly high highs and obscenely low lows, so let's laugh about it. It's time for the Headlock Headlines. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Welcome to episode 3 of Headlock Headlines. Maybe the name's got one on me, I don't know. There was a lot of huge news out of WWE this week with a... What the hell? Are we on? Can we fix that? Alright, good. The hell was that? Anyway, WWE burst out the gate this week by announcing that former WWE superstar and biggest action movie star on the planet, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, will be joining the board of TKO, the parent company of WWE and UFC. This is a deal that included over $30 million worth of stock options and finally grants him the trademark to The Rock name. In lesser Johnson family news, The Rock's daughter, aka NXT superstar Ava Raine, who we'll be referring to on this channel now as Pebbles, was named GM of NXT and failed to wow the crowd with an in-ring promo segment, but I probably shouldn't talk about that any further because apparently that's not allowed. Cancel pigs on Twitter, NXT wrestlers, and even Pebbles herself attacked me for having the audacity to lob a softball, sarcastic comment about her lack of charisma. They were all citing her age of 22 as the reason why she's immune from any and all criticism. Never mind the fact that many 22-year-olds are college graduates out in the working world, and she's been working in this developmental system for 4 years now. It wasn't meant to be a personal attack, and with time under a solid developmental system, we can all hope she gets better. Of course, when her father went out there at 24 and didn't deliver, there were literal die, Rocky, die chants, so I think Pebbles is getting off a little easy with the occasional sarcastic comment from a fabricated American monster. But, moving on to news about another thin-skinned child of privilege, Tooney, there it is.
TK, Tooney Khan, wrestling savior, and he's the bomb. Yeah, he's TK. Tooney Khan is giving wrestlers hugs, and he might be on drugs. Yeah, he's TK.
I have arrived. Praise me.
Welcome back, Tooney Khan. You're just in time to start talking about...
Wait. Before you get into anything else, I want to tell you that I was watching Twitter tear your fur out the other night over the Ava Raine situation, and I want to say that I totally got your back, brother.
Wait, really?
Of course! These soft, entitled children of wealthy, powerful, and accomplished people need to understand that they are not above criticism.
What?
Just because your dad is a rich, successful, and respected man doesn't mean you have some kind of God-given right to be on television and receive only praise for whatever you do.
Are you... What?
You know, some of us had to earn our way into the wrestling business, the old-fashioned way.
Yes, some people did have to do that, but...
And this is just more of the WWE trying to throw its weight around and blame everyone but themselves, weaponizing outrage, and playing the victim to cover up a lackluster segment.
I mean, I agree with you, but...
And the age thing, please! Is a 22-year-old fresh out of college and starting their first adult job immune from people reviewing their job performance?
Alright, I'm not gonna over-examine this. I'm just gonna take the win and move on. So a lot of eyebrows were raised in question at an obscenely stupid and damaging spot on Dynamite last week, as AEW wrestler Hook kicked out of Samoa Joe's Muscle Buster finishing move at 1, which basically...
Leave him alone, you monster! He's 24! He's a child living his dream! How dare you criticize him! I hope you burn in the darkest circle of hell for this, where the trash like you belongs!
And suddenly the world makes sense again. Alright, moving on. The WWE released its cover art for the new video game WWE 2K24. The cover featured a medley of wrestling legends, from WrestleMania legends to one with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, and one with Cody Rhodes.
Cody!
You alright there?
What an insult. What an absolute sham this game is. The WWE putting out a video game just a year after I changed the face of the gaming landscape with the wildly successful and profitable AEW Fight Forever, developed by my Kenny Omega, and the winner, by the way, of the 2022 Sports Game of the Year, despite coming out in 2023.
WWE produces a video game every year. Since 1987, there have only been like 2 years where there was no WWE video game release. And then you got years like 2000, in which the company released 4 games in 1 year. You blew tens of millions of dollars trying to make one game that spent years in development hell, overseen by a guy whose video game industry knowledge and experience revolves around playing them.
Yes, but then we came out with a wildly successful product that was worth the wait.
No, you delivered a buggy, repetitive, nonsense game that fails to be a No Mercy clone, all while making the guy who developed it the most powerful, unbeatable entity in the game. Not to mention the insane game-breaking bugs and glitches.
It's wildly successful.
Is it, though? Let's take a look at how many people have been playing on Steam for the last couple of months. There you go. 11 people on average.
Oh wow, that many? We're doing better than I thought.
Speaking of AEW's declining numbers, last night's Dynamite
was awesome! Did you see those shots delivered by my Adam Copeland and my Suzuki? They echoed through the arena.
Yes, that is what tends to happen in large, empty spaces.
You are not nice.
With just a little over 2,000 tickets sold, this week's Dynamite was the worst attended in the company's history.
No, there was a period of like 2 years between 2020 and 2022 where there was barely anyone in our arenas. If you compare last night to that, we've seen explosive growth.
Wait, do you mean during the pandemic when people were literally required to stay indoors?
Oh, who could even remember trivial current event stories like that from so many years ago? The point is, we're doing...
If you say the word great, I will have you destroyed.
Look, you need to step into 2024, man. You need modern metrics to gauge success. Things like television ratings and live attendance don't mean anything anymore. There are more important statistics you have to look at for a modern audience.
Like the key demo?
No, not anymore since we're not doing so great there anymore.
All right, well, how does one gauge wrestling success in modern day?
It's a simple formula. You just take the total number of Dave Meltzer's stars and divide that by the number of DVR recordings the show received. Then you divide that number by the number of likes you get on Twitter and multiply the times that my Jamaican Nanny Agape tells me that I'm a good boy. And then the number of times my dad tells me to get out of the room and that he's sure the show is great. Multiplied by the hypotenuse of an isosceles triangle, which then can be compared to Then you triangulate that figure by the square root of the number of justified this is awesome chants you received, and then divide that number by pi.
And after doing all that work, what do you find?
That AEW is doing good. Look, I'm winning in every conceivable way. Literally, anyone who criticizes me is attacking me personally, and they're all robots controlled by Triple H.
What the hell is that? It's like someone's trying to hijack the feed.
More of my critic bots trying to silence me from telling the real truth.
Speaking of the importance of truth, a recent report by Sports Illustrated alleged that internal WWE plans called for Cody Rhodes to not headline this year's WrestleMania, and that he would not be finishing his story.
Ha! I knew it! Suck it, Cody! You neck tattoo having butt munch! This is what you get for leaving me!
But then yesterday, a reporter issued a statement that he was fed incorrect information and did the unthinkable in the world of wrestling journalism. He admitted fault and retracted the statement.
Noseman Triple H, that's Cody Rhodes, more like Cody Blows. Ha! Just call him Falcor because this is the never-ending story. Nice try, E-Drones.
Tooney, are you listening to me?
Almost never.
They retracted the story and admitted that not only is it false, but the WWE feeds false information to dirt sheets on purpose.
Yeah, no, the original story was right.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
La 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 la, Kobe drone, la 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 la, Cody in the mud.
Well, speaking of things our friend here and his fans don't want to hear, there have been reports that Japanese wrestler Kazuchika Okada, hailed by many as one of the best professional wrestlers in the world today, might be signing with WWE over AEW.
Wait, what?
Well, that's the big rumor. They're gonna sign him and start him right away on NXT.
NXT? They're gonna send him to wrestling school? Those monsters. How could they disrespect him like that?
Oh, for the love of everyone goes to NXT. It's not just a wrestling school for rookies. They teach you to work with the WWE production team so you're ready to hit the ground running on TV, and they also introduce you slowly to the fans.
Introduce? Everyone already knows who Okada is.
No, they don't.
Of course they do. Everyone who is a real pro wrestling fan knows who every major NJPW and indie star is. That's why I debut them on my shows with no build-up or story. Dream matches is what people want to see.
Well, this is the major rumor.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch, monster. I'll have you know I've been negotiating with Okada as well, and I'm prepared to offer him a lot of my dad's money to come be mine in AEW.
Yeah, believe it or not, Tooneytown Wrestling cameras were actually on site filming your last negotiation session with Okada.
Wait, what?
Yeah, roll the footage, please.
Please come to AEW. It's a no-stress environment. There aren't even any people in the arena. Please. I want this so badly. Please. I'll give you so much of my dad's money. Please, if you don't come to AEW, I will drink this. I swear to God, I'll do it. I'll do it. I am a shrewd negotiator.
You know, it's amazing that he's still considering WWE after that.
I know, right?
In other news, WWE announced that Raw will be moving off cable television in the coming year. As of January 25th, the longest-running episodic show on cable television will end that streak as it moves to the world of streaming on Netflix.
I did it!
What?
I drove the WWE off cable with their tail between their legs. I rolled into town with the power of real pro wrestling and chased Triple H off into the dirt.
Tooney, you had nothing to do with this decision.
Please. I show up and then suddenly 5 years later, WWE is fleeing cable television for something as ridiculous as streaming? I mean, who watches streaming?
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone is a butt, maybe.
They're getting $5 billion over a 10-year period.
A consolation prize to dull the ache of their ultimate defeat.
You know SmackDown is still on cable, right? And NXT will be on network television, which means its ratings are going to go up. And it's already hot on Dynamite's heels.
You think I'm worried about SmackDown and NXT? These television deals are nothing. All it took was 5 years of Meltzer stars and dream matches for me to chop that redwood down.
Well, whatever the reason, it's kind of funny that your pals Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp never got even a whiff of this story. Almost as though all their WWE information is just logical guesses that any fan could deduce.
Not true. Dave and Sappy are on the inside. But you gotta pay $12.99 a month to get those info nuggets. Or, you know, just wait 45 minutes for all the other dirt sheets to post everything they say for free.
Well, this does put to bed the rumor of them scoring a deal with WBD that might have seen your show kicked to the curb.
Oh, they tried, but they didn't have a chance. I walked right into David Zaslav's office building and met with one of the lower executives, and I told them that their networks needed my shows, and they caved.
Yeah, I think we got footage of that.
Wait, what?
Roll it!
Please don't take me off the stations that WCW were on. I never want to be on any other network stations. Just yours. I'll never even look at another network. None of them have any interest anyway. You're my only hope. Please. I'll pay you to keep me on the air. Do you want some of my dad's money? I'll give you so much of it. If you kick me off the air, I will drink this. I swear to God, I'll do it. And it worked. WWE got offered $5 billion to go to Netflix, and WBD gave me a firm maybe about staying on after our current TV deal ends.
Truly a banner week for you, my friend.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go take another victory lap, change into my jammies, and join 300,000 or less other people to watch my rampage.
What's on it tonight?
I don't know.
Godspeed, Tooney Khan.
Whee!
Before we close out this week's headlines, we need to address an elephant in the room. That's the allegations made against Vince McMahon yesterday in a lawsuit filed by a former WWE employee. Now, we cover the wrestling news here on this channel with the intention of trying to add a comedic spin to it, because people take themselves too seriously and they take wrestling issues too seriously. But an issue like this needs to be taken seriously, because sometimes we need to put comedy aside and just deal with what happened and what it means going forward. For those that haven't heard, a lawsuit was issued against WWE, Vince McMahon, and the former horrible wrestler, terrible agent, and even worse head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis. The lawsuit goes into very graphic detail on what allegedly went down, including some alleged text messages sent by Vince. Without going into the disturbing details, the defendant alleges that Vince and John Laurinaitis were not only committing sexual assault against her, but trafficking her out to others, including an unnamed former UFC heavyweight champion. That's all it says in the suit, so that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get sued. I know Stephen P. News got my back. TKO has issued a statement saying that they are going to be dealing with the matter internally, and Vince, who is still the chairman of TKO despite not being involved in WWE, has also issued a statement vowing to fight the allegations, calling them lies. For the sake of the stockholders, it's probably a good idea for him to step down as chairman on a temporary basis, and if he wins the suit, then move on from there. I've always said if you're innocent, the truth should set you free. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about song parodies about this and pooping Vince puppets, comparing it to the Jericho situation. Now, folks, these are two very different scenarios. Chris Jericho is accused of being a creep, and we poked fun at Tony Khan for covering it up in last week's headlines and in the NDA video. But the allegation floating around is that he made a sleazy pass at someone, and then Tony slapped an NDA on the situation to give her release. Now, that's an unsubstantiated rumor that's a lot different from a filed-in-court graphic depiction of a violent assault. So if the allegations are true, then myself, Tooney Wrestling, we will all wholeheartedly condemn the actions of Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and anyone else who might have been involved. It's one of the most disgusting and heinous crimes that human beings can commit on one another. But much like I'm not going to sit here and make jokes about the Benoit murder-suicide or Owen Hart's tragic death, I'm also not going to joke about something like this.
Actually, I have something to add to this.
Nope, no you don't, Dave.
Oh no, please, not again, Mr. Schultz.
You guys know we like to have fun here, and I'm sorry for the heavy topic, but I felt like if we're covering the news, it couldn't be ignored. So, to end on a lighter note, our next song parody is written, and here's a little preview of what it might be. So tune in for that, coming either this week or next week or the week after, depending on how stacked my workload is. Well, that does it for the Headlock headlines this week. Check back next Friday for a new episode with hopefully some lighter material. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're also on TikTok and Instagram now for whatever reason. So follow on TikTok at Tooney Wrestling and Instagram as Marvin Movie Monster. Also, obviously, we're on Twitter/X as Marvin Movie Monster. For Tooney Khan, I'm Marvin Movie Monster. Now get out of here!